It's episode 41 of the Pat McGann Show. This week, Pat welcomes Dwayne Kennedy and Mitch Rosen of 670 The Score. The Pat McGann Show, as always, is brought to you by Teach Hanley, uncomplicated skincare for men. And now, here's Pat.
All right, for the 41st time, we are joined together. Dwayne Kennedy is here. We got a great guest. Mitch Rosen is joining us. Mitch is the Vice President of Odyssey Sports. You got a lot of titles. We're going to get into it. Just happy to be back here in the Teach Hanley studios on the west side of Chicago. Mitch, thanks for being here, man.
Pat, my pleasure. It's great to be here. Cool studio, cool setup. Nice to see all your castmates. It's fun. Thanks for
How do you
me.
feel? What's your take on podcasts? Because there's got to be some, being in radio. I mean, you guys have influenced podcasts. We're really just kind of ripping off your format, your ideas.
Yeah, I don't think so. Listen, I think the more the merrier. I think podcasts today is what radio may have been 20 years ago. It's personality. Like, anybody can have a podcast now. You know, you've got people doing podcasts about their hobbies, about what they like to do. I think it's great. I think it gives everybody a chance to do something. And I think the more the merrier. And podcasts, it's personalities. It's what people want. It's their passion. I always say in our business, what are you passionate about today? Whether it's sports or news or current events. So whatever you're passionate about, it's cool.
Yeah, it's all content, right? I mean, that's
content
what
is king.
Sometimes it feels like a bit of a wood chipper. You just got to create, put it in there.
Yeah.
And you hope that people kind of appreciate it, but, and you've been a very busy man, so I appreciate you coming in here.
Love it.
We have people listening from all over the place, but, we do have a little bit of a Chicago flavor and focus, and you run one of, or the biggest, most popular sports radio shows in Chicago, in addition to working with, WXRT, which is, would you say that's alternative, or what's the pitch on XRT?
I think XRT is the most iconic rock station maybe in the world. I think what that staff has done over so many years, you start with Terry Hemmert and the late Lynn Bramer and Marty Lennertz and Johnny Mars and Frankie Lee and the current staff, Andy Chantley, and Elisa. It's an iconic brand that people all around the world listen to. Whether you live in Chicago or anywhere else, you can listen to it online. But it's the most eclectic, iconic rock station in the world.
That's all I have on my car, to be honest with you, when I'm on FM. And, my kids even know the handle jingles and going in and out of the bumps. And, and you mentioned Lynn Bramer. Is there a more beloved guy? And, I know we miss Lynn. I met him one time, did one of the radiothons that you guys would do.
Yep.
At, what was that? Which one did he do annually? He was I think it was US 99.
Yep. US 99 does one, Score does one. He was very passionate about ALS, so he was involved with ALS, Misericordia. He was just charitable. He was truly just one of the nicest people. He was famous for saying, I'm your best friend in the whole wide world. And he truly was and just truly missed. So just a great, great person and a super sports fan, like Cubs beyond belief. And when the Cubs won the World Series, he was on the bus going down, Michigan Avenue or to Grant Park, and he was just unbelievable.
Do these DJs, do they pick the songs that they're playing, or is it kind of set up by?
Yeah, they have a great, we're called brand managers. We used to be called program directors. I look at, the name brand manager, it sounds like we work for Kraft, and, what is it, Charmin today or Kraft macaroni and cheese? I still like program directors because you help program the station. So Michelle, who runs it, is just unbelievably great. The station's at an all-time high. So I think it's a combination. The DJs like Marty Lennertz, they're brilliant. They're like musicologists. So they, in combination with Michelle, pick the music, and it's just unbelievable.
How do you find the on-air talent for all these stations that you're programming?
Listen, for the Score, you look for people that are passionate about sports. You look at our current lineup. Like Mully and Haw have been doing mornings a long time. Mully's been there close to 20 years. He grew up in Chicago. He was a columnist for the Sun-Times. David was a columnist at the Tribune. And they are Chicago sports. Layla, who does our midday show, she is one of the few women in the United States to host a primetime sports show in a top market like Chicago. She works with Mark Rohde and Marshall Harris. And then in afternoons, who Lawrence Holmes and Matt Spiegel, those guys are Chicago sports, but they're entertaining also. And then you add in a guy like Chris Tannehill, who is a production genius and helps shape that show. And you put that all together, and it's entertaining. We're opinionists. We're not journalists. I never like to say, like in sports radio content, I don't look at it as a journalist. And we break some stories sometimes, but I like to say we're opinionists, and we have opinions, whether people like them or not. We have opinions, and that's the key with a brand like The Score.
And you give a voice to the educated sports radio call-in, which especially the old Buffon Obradovich days. After a Bears loss, you gotta tune in.
Buffon and Obradovich,
just to hear
classic
the rants.
Those guys, and I'll be at The Score brand, 21 years. Someone who started the brand, a guy named Ron Gleason, actually put those two together, and that was radio magic, and you can't recreate that. Those guys, they were best friends. They played together for the Bears, and just natural. It's like, I don't know what you compare it to in comedy. I know this is a stretch, so don't fall off your chair. Is that like Martin and Lewis when you put that? Is that
exactly.
I don't know. I mean,
you can't argue with chemistry, and it's definitely very comparable. And those guys were like 85 Bears before the 85 Bears.
Correct.
And they were kind of riding their success from. They were really good teams, right, in the late 60s.
And Buffon, and one of the hardest calls I ever had to make. So Doug passed away. His wife, Dana, worked at The Score in sales. So I remember it was middle of the day, like 1 o'clock, and she runs by my office. Doug has a set of twin girls, and she ran by my office. She goes, "Doug's dead." I go, "What?" She goes, "Doug is dead." One of the girls had found Doug in their bed at home. He had passed away. So I'm like 10 minutes behind her. They lived on the west side of the city. So the first person I thought of was OB. They were best friends. So I have to think, like, I have to call OB, right? It's one of the hardest calls you have to make. So I call OB and, "Hello, Mitch. OB, I have some saying, what? I shouldn't swear, right?
No, you can swear.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely.
That's the beauty of it.
All right, it's a direct quote.
You start out like, "Hey, first-time caller, OB."
Yeah. So I go, "OB, yeah, Mitch." I go, "OB, sad news." "Yep." I go, "Doug passed away." "You're shitting me, Mitch. You're shitting me." I go, "Doug, Dana talked to one of the girls. I'm going over to the house. He's in his bed." "You're shitting me." I go, "Doug." I go, "OB, he's dead." So that was one of the hardest calls. So OB and I talk a couple times a year, but every year on Doug's death anniversary, we talk and we laugh about Doug. But truly in my life, like my mom had passed away and my dad, that is really one of the hardest calls I ever had to make.
Man.
Well, it sounded like you summed it up pretty good. Not much of a bedside manner there.
No.
Hey,
right to the
OB,
point, right?
Doug's dead. What? He's dead.
Hey, you got to get right to the point. As I tell my wife, like, just give me the headlines. I don't need the book, right?
I thought you were going to say, and then every year he calls you up on the dead day. "You're shitting me." Click.
He's still dead. Yeah.
Man.
Hey, guys, quick question. Are you washing your face with the same soap you wash your car with? Do you shower in the driveway, too? It's time to step things up. That's why I like Tiege Hanley. It's a super simple skincare system made for guys. Cleanse, moisturize, exfoliate. It's all laid out so you don't have to think about it. Just a few minutes a day and your skin actually looks better. Head to Tiege.com/Pat for 40% off and a free gift. Start taking care of your face like an adult. That's Tiege.com/Pat. So you're at The Score now, and you have like all this. You're like the guy, but you don't start out the guy. How did you get started in radio? Was this something that you wanted to pursue? Did you study broadcasting or?
Yeah, so I grew up in Skokie, the mean streets of Skokie, right?
Yeah.
And I was kind of a radio geek, and there was this overnight guy on WGN radio, a guy named Eddie Schwartz.
Yeah.
And now you've probably heard of him because Kevin Matthews and Dow made fun of him.
Oh, right.
Real high voice.
I do remember
right?
that.
Literally
Yeah, he did that.
700 pounds. So I'm old.
He was that big.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they used to talk about that all the time.
Really?
Right.
Yeah,
How much?
700.
Yeah, he was
You're
that
shitting me.
Yeah. So
He was 700 on your radio dial.
You're right, 720. Right. So I'm old, and we didn't have cell phones or email, so I wrote him a letter. Mr. Schwartz, I was like 12, 13. I wrote him, Mr. Schwartz, I'm a big fan. Love to come visit the studio. WGN Radio was on Bradley Place where TV is. So out of the blue one afternoon, I'm home from school. Telephone rings. I don't know if you guys are this old, but the phone would ring. Mother would answer it, and she'd yell, Mitchell, telephone. So I get up, hello. You remember those days?
Yeah.
So I go, and he goes, hello, this is Eddie Schwartz. You want to come visit me? So yeah. So
Was your mother? Hope she was still listening on the other end.
Yeah.
You're not going to that perv's
Yeah,
house.
it wasn't a creep. So on a Friday night, I went and visited him and fell in love with the business. Not with him, but with the business. So ironically, I go away to school, Winona State in Minnesota, and it was a great experience for me. I worked in college radio first day on campus, and it was a great experience. So now fast forward to my senior year, I graduate college in 1988. I do an internship. At that time, you could do an internship after you graduate. I worked in the sports department at WGN Radio with Chuck Swirsky, Wayne Larrabee, Jack Brickhouse,
Hey,
Dwayne
man.
Stats.
Oh, my
and
gosh.
those
Wayne
guys.
Larrabee.
Yeah,
that
all those
traitor.
guys. Yep. And
I gotta-
then
all right.
there was a full-time job open for overnights with Eddie Schwartz. So my first full-time job at WGN Radio, $13,000 a year, was producing overnights. And kind of full circle, I wrote him a letter, and now I'm working with this guy, and I have a lot of fun stories. But I learned a lot from him, and that was my first job in radio, WGN, working overnights as a producer, 1988, 89-ish.
Wow,
Man,
that's
you started right in the big leagues,
Yeah,
man.
and I loved it. Very fortunate.
Yeah.
and that's got to be a rite of passage too, just doing overnights.
Oh yeah.
Because
Yeah, it was unbelievably great. A quick story. My first night on the job, and Eddie had been there a while. And do you remember they were called cash station cards, not like your bank? And at that time they were at the Tribune Tower. And he goes, this is the first night on the job. He goes, can you go up to the third floor? He wasn't very mobile. He was a heavy guy. And he goes, here's my code to my cash station card. He goes, don't look at the balance and take out $400 cash. All right, now I'm making $13,000 a year, so my paychecks weren't even $400, right? So how can I not look at the balance? And I'm getting $400 in cash.
you didn't even think about looking at it until he probably
Of
told
course
you.
not, right? So I come back downstairs. He goes, did you look at the balance? I go, no. The guy had $72,000 in his checking account at the time. Of course
Wow.
how could I not look,
Yeah.
right? And I
He's
give him,
lucky you came back.
Right. So I give him and he gave me $20. He goes, go buy yourself something, kid. So he gave me $20. But that was the start of a relationship. But I learned so much. He was friends with Bill Cosby, the good Bill Cosby,
Yeah.
Ron Howard. We made calls in the middle of the night to when the first Iraq War. So I learned so much from him. And then I was part of the trade. Do you remember when he went to the Loop? So they made fun of him for years. Steve and Gary and Kevin Matthews.
Yeah.
And his contract was up. And he goes, hey, if I go to another station, you're coming. Should I stop?
No.
Keep doing
That's great.
that. Makes me think of a puppet show.
Yeah. And he goes, if I go to another, you're coming with me. And I go, no, I'm thinking like LS, somewhere Eddie Schwartz, not the cool kids,
Yeah.
the Loop. So on one afternoon, he goes, we're going. I go, where are we going? And he got me more money. I increased $13,000 to something else. We're going to the Loop with the cool guys. I go, the Loop? I go, great. Great. So we ended up going to the Loop, and it was great for my career, and he took me with him, and yeah, it was fun.
How long did he last? A weekend?
Yeah, no, he got sick, and he didn't get along. Chet Kopic drove him nuts, but Stephen, Gary, and Kevin embraced him. One night, there was a big Halloween party at Park West. It was a Loop Halloween party, but Eddie was working, and Kevin Matthews called me. He goes, hey, bud, I'm sending over a surprise for Eddie. Her name is Candy. Can you go pick her up in the lobby at the Hancock? I go, yeah. I go, Candy.
He's more into salty stuff.
Yeah, and Candy was a stripper, and I met Candy in the lobby at the Hancock, and off the air, Eddie put on like a 10-minute song, so Candy put on a show for Eddie, and that was a gift that Stephen, Gary, and Kevin sent over for Eddie.
And now you couldn't do that these days, right?
No,
we're sending over a stripper.
No,
and he's putting on Stairway to Heaven.
1991, yeah, Inagata-Davida. It was a long song.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
The loop days have got to be insane.
High School with Money.
And and Kevin Matthews. I know you eventually started producing for Kevin Matthews.
Yeah, so I was there Eddie year, and then Kevin had an opening. They put me with Kevin, and Kevin did mornings, and that was fantastic. Kevin is literally a genius. There will never be anybody like Kevin in the voices, but his creativity was unbelievable.
What is the scope of what was going on in radio? Can you put it in perspective for us in terms of listeners and how much, how big the business actually was?
Yeah, it was incredible. Personality radio. You had your music stations, you had news, BBM, but the Loop in its heyday, it was all demographics. It wasn't just men listening. It was men, women, 18 plus, and it was creativity. You want to go do a remote in California. Kevin on the air said, I'd like to be a walk-on on Baywatch. Okay, someone was listening who ran casting. 2 weeks later, him and I were on a plane, and he did a walk-on with Pamela Anderson and David Hasselhoff.
He's in that episode?
Yeah, he's in the episode.
Really?
Yeah, he had one line, I have a wetty rash, and that was it.
And you were on set? You were there?
Yeah, I was on set, and he walked on, and it was right around OJ time, and we went to the restaurant where they were last seen, and we stole a menu. I think the name of the restaurant was Mezzaluna. So, yeah, we have memories like that. Yeah, crazy, right? Crazy. Yeah.
Where did they film that? Which beach were they on?
Somewhere in Malibu, somewhere around there.
Oh my God, that's wild.
So the Loop in the day, it was just fun. Kevin he'd come up with stuff on the air, just natural, and we didn't worry about money. Like, hey, can we pay for this remote? Is there a sponsor? He used to do the Jim Schwartz golf outing. And we would do it we got kicked out of 10 different country clubs because you'd have, on one hole Seika, the adult film star, and you'd have Father Pat Marshall, who was at Queen of Martyrs for years, and he, we'd have so much, Babe Winkleman, it would be at a hole. So, and just craziness would happen.
Wasn't he the fisherman?
Yeah.
Fisherman.
Yeah.
Babe and then Kevin...
Tim Walco had a great Babe Winkleman joke.
Yeah.
He was watching it. You ever see the episode where he caught a bass with his dick and some gum?
It was crazy.
Shout out Tim Walco.
Yeah.
But Kevin became friends with the 85 Bears. His best friend, Kevin Butler, Butthead, and Jim McMahon, and Tom Thayer, and it just developed naturally, and that was the Loop. And Brandmeier, in the morning.
Did all those guys get along? The talent, the on-air talent?
Yeah, yes. But there were egos. Danny Bonaducci, developed on the air. They became friends. Danny, why don't you come in? Danny became the nighttime guy. And Van Horn and Thayer did a late night show, and then Seika did a nighttime show. It was craziness but fun.
Yeah, those have got to be some great days. They always had good commercials too. The Loop.
Oh,
remember the big guy they had against the wall?
Dancing. But that was like DeCastro and Larry Wirt. They were the geniuses behind it, and great marketing people, and it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, I know that they have a documentary coming out, I think, about the Loop and all those years.
Mm-hmm.
But you also mentioned this documentary about Kevin Matthews.
Yeah, he so Kevin, was in Chicago, went to Grand Rapids, and he very spiritual, and he found
that happens when you get older.
Yeah.
After you've already done everything.
Yeah. And it's called something Broken Mary. I say that, but I should know that. And it's beautiful. It talks about his radio career. It talks about finding a statue, the Virgin Mary, and it's broken. And the theme is we're all broken, right, in some sort of another. But it's on Amazon. It's very, very good.
Yeah, I saw him one morning. I was in Grand Rapids doing some shows, and he was at the radio station.
Yeah.
Because it's funny. You go to these radio stations, and you walk on the floor, and there's 4 stations right next to each other.
Yeah.
4 studios right there. And that's a little bit of what you're overseeing at Odyssey. You have, what are the stations that you're running?
Everyone, we have on right now we have 2 floors. So we have XRT, US 99, like America's #1 country station, which is huge. B96, we have WBBM News Radio and The Score. And then we had jams, but The Score recently moved to FM 104.3.
Yeah, how'd that go down? Because I listened to some of that 104.3.
Yeah,
and then
you like a little salt and pepper in the morning.
Yeah, get it going.
So it was a hard decision. Throughout the country, the trend has been sports stations on FM. And The Score was one of the last ones.
Why?
It's just a younger demographic, fidelity. A lot of cars don't even manufacturers put AM in cars anymore, which is sad.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I still like have an AM clock radio next to my bed or in the kitchen.
Set for 2 a.m.
Yeah,
wake up.
2 a.m. wake up.
Right.
I set the alarm for 25 years. I think it's gone off once. But it was just something it was a hard decision because Jam's great station, but it was a business decision. Which station makes most sense to simulcast AM and FM? We're still on 670, which is a booming 50,000 watt station.
What does that mean? 50,000 watts.
It means you're going to 38 states and 4 Canadian provinces at night. That from a wattage standpoint, it's a huge station that it carries far, mostly at night, but during the day, Wisconsin, Iowa, obviously in Illinois.
Is that the maximum amount you can have?
Yeah, 50,000 watts.
50,000. Mm-hmm. So now, will you have an AM station forever, or are you going to gradually phase that out?
No, there's no plans to phase it out. Like, it's hugely important is we have the Cubs and the Bulls and other sports teams. That's important to get that content out there.
Okay.
Yeah, the sound, you can tell the difference when you're listening
fidelity.
to FM versus the...
And downtown, like if you're in Lower Wacker, a lot of people in high-rise buildings, before we were on FM, it was static. Now, our goal is like we give you so many platforms that, whether it's the Odyssey app, we're on Twitch, YouTube, that in this day and age, it's funny, like 5 years ago, someone would have said, hey, what business are you in? Oh, the radio business. Today, the fancy thing, I'm in the content distribution business.
Oh, right.
So it's all these different platforms, and you try to find as many ears and eyes as you can to, consume the content.
When your skin looks better, you feel more confident everywhere you go. At work, out with friends, on a date, or like me, at a big show. That's why I like Tiege Hanley. They make skincare simple with a routine that takes about 2 minutes a day. Just wash, exfoliate, moisturize, and you're done. No complicated routines or cluttered bathroom shelves. If you want to look better without overthinking it, try Tiege Hanley. Check it out at Tiege.com/Pat and get 40% off and a free gift. That's Tiege.com/Pat. Tiege Hanley. Put your best face forward.
Mitch, will there ever be a thing where at some point there will be different talent on the AM side than the FM side?
I don't think so. Once in a while we split the signals. So if the Bulls and the Cubs, for instance, at the end of the season, there were 3 or 4 conflicts. So the Cubs would be on the FM, Bulls would be on the AM. Okay. So we don't have to put another team, let's say on BBM, one of our sister stations. So it works out nice in that way. But I don't see today, things could change, having 2 sports stations and putting talent on different, competing against each other.
Okay, so no chance for me and Pat to...
Well, we can always talk.
All right.
Is it true that in 2005 you joined The Score and you guys negotiated a deal with the White Sox and they won the World Series? And then in 2016, the first year you brought the Cubs to The Score, they won the World Series?
Yeah, a couple quick backstories on that. So we negotiated our White Sox deal like in April of 2005. But they were still on. I had been at WMVP for 9 years.
Okay.
I had come over to
and that's
the Score.
AM 1000, ESPN.
Yeah, but I like to say WMVP because that's their official call letters, and they don't like it.
And then you don't have to say
to.
ESPN.
Right.
Like to give them that.
Still a competitive son of a
Yeah.
bitch. So we negotiated that deal in April, and that's usually when you do deals. Nobody knew they were going to win the World Series. You remember that year? It was unbelievable. So as the season went on, they're playing good, and then that playoff run, like, holy, you know what? So we take over the rights. The minute that season ends, the final out in the World Series, we start imaging The Score. You're home for the World Series champion White Sox. So that was pretty cool. I really think that was a defining moment in the history of the Score. The Score signs on the air January 2nd, 1992. And you have people like Mike North and Terry Boers and McNeil. Those are the founding fathers of the Score. Like, I wouldn't be here today without them. But I look back, signing on was key. But having a franchise like the White Sox was really one of the defining moments in the history of the Score. Yeah. So we take the rights, and then, it develops and things. But it wasn't on our air. But, yes, we did come to an agreement in that season and saw that season develop. Then the Cubs, timing-wise, we had the White Sox until the end of the 2015 season. The 2015 season, the Cubs were on WBBM News Radio. Obviously, we put in the paperwork that we could trigger something in the contract where we had like a 7 or 10 day window where we could take the Cubs off BBM and put them on the Score. Ironically, the timing on the White Sox, we were done with the Score, with the White Sox on the Score.
How do the contracts work? Are they annually?
Multi-year deals. Sometimes they're 3 years, sometimes they're 5, but it worked out perfect timing.
Yeah.
Selfishly, where Sox deal was done. Cubs deal, we triggered it that they were off of BBM, and their first year on the Score was 2016. Sometimes you're rather be lucky than good, and it's the first time they won the World Series since 1908.
Wow.
Man, that's crazy. Yeah, so you think maybe you could start broadcasting Pat's son's basketball team? Yeah, maybe they can win a championship.
Catholic League championship, right? Yeah.
I have I think that would actually be a great thing to broadcast some of these kids' games, especially like in-house, like at the actual game.
Yeah.
Especially the B teams. Dude,
oh man,
those are the fun ones.
The 10-9 barn burners, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Do some backstory on each of the players.
Mm-hmm.
So when you're negotiating with these teams, because you also have, do you have the Bulls now?
We do have the Bulls. Yep.
Oh,
the Bulls.
Well, that didn't work.
We had Chris Holtman here, head coach of DePaul. You also do
nice
the
guy.
DePaul men's basketball.
We don't. DePaul left us after we didn't. This was the first year we didn't have them like in 30 years.
Oh, is that right?
They
Okay.
decided it'd be best to be online only.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I was gonna say, so what determines that? Whether you pick a team up or they stay with you? What determines that?
Like everything else, business, is it a good business decision for both parties?
Mm-hmm.
And it's relationships. Our Bulls agreement, like 7 or 8 years ago, the Bulls were on WLS, and they're owned by a company, Cumulus Media, great company. At that time, they were going through some tough business time. Everybody, the company I work for, Odyssey, went through some tough business times. Jerry Reinsdorf and the upper management reached out and said, hey, we might have an opportunity for you to take the Bulls on. And we said, oh, next season? And they said, no, it might be soon, like 2 weeks. Usually rights agreements, you negotiate, you talk. Sometimes it's a couple months, sometimes it's 6 months. This thing percolated very quickly. Never in my career, and you don't hear about it often, that you take over the rights mid-season. Wow. And this,
yeah, I wouldn't think.
We took it over mid-season, and it's worked out great.
At halftime of a game?
Yeah. Be like a player traded.
You want to catch the third quarter, switch over to.
Right, change jerseys, right? So it's worked out well. I like to say we're in the relationship business. Again, business is business, but you build up relationships and trust, and that's what happens.
What are the broad strokes of an agreement with the team? They're licensed. You're paying. They're paying you.
Yeah, there's different ways. There's different ways of different rights agreement. Sometimes it's you pay a team a rights fee, and you own all the commercial inventory, and then you go sell that, and then hopefully you profit from that.
Okay.
Other ways, in other organizations, the team owns all the inventory, meaning they own all the commercials, and maybe they pay you some money and they air the games on your station, and you benefit from that audience coming in. So there's different models in terms of rights agreements.
That's got to be.
Does that make sense on different ways?
Yeah, this is why I never got into like the business side of stuff, but I imagine that it's got to be kind of cutthroat at some point.
At times, but again, it's relationships. Like, we have a tremendous relationship with the Cubs organization. Great people, and I like to say a lot of times over the years, you never like pull out the contract and go, on page 32, clause B,
Yeah.
I mean, it's a relationship, it's trust, and it never really gets to that because you work well together and you trust each other.
I'm a big White Sox fan. I love baseball in general, but I love listening to baseball on the radio. There still really is something about that. Do you have some like favorite broadcasters that through the years that like, who would you listen to growing up?
Yeah, so I was a rebel. Growing up in Skokie, I was a White Sox fan. My mom grew up in
You
Hyde
say
Park,
you were a
Channel.
White Sox fan.
No,
Did
no.
you?
I will listen. I'm clear. Go Cubs, go for business, and I'm a fan. But down deep, I'm a White Sox fan. My mom grew up in Chatham, so we'd go to White Sox games. But I lived in Skokie, so I'd hop on the Skokie Swift, the L, and go to a lot of Cubs games. And on the radio, like, I'm partial, but he's in the Hall of Fame. To me, Pat Hughes is one of the best to ever do it. Baseball on the radio is special. It's like a friend. You're friends with someone like Pat Hughes because he's the voice of summer, and he sets the tone. Len has done a great job on radio with the White Sox, especially with the recent excitement. Ed Farmer, was a special guy. He was really a close friend. What he did was unbelievable. John Rooney, I think, was a great
I love
voice.
John Rooney. He was
Ed
good.
and John,
Did he go to St. Louis?
Yes, he went to St. Louis right after the White
World
Sox.
Series, yeah.
And those two were great. I just think baseball on the radio is special. Other sports are great, like Chuck Swirsky on Bulls, exciting, and basketball is great. But there's something special about baseball on the radio, a summer day, whether you're in your car, your backyard, or listening wherever you do. Baseball on the radio is special, I think.
How is your listenership since they started tweaking baseball and making it a faster game? Because I know on television they say ratings have gone up. How is it on?
Yeah, radio too. I mean, just the amount of people that listen to baseball on the radio is just huge. Continues to grow, but I think it's two things. I think I'll speak for our own brand. People love the Cubs, win or lose, and I really think it's the announcers. Pat Hughes and Ron Coomer. Coomer's a Chicago guy, grew up near Midway Airport. He grew up a Cubs fan, played for the Cubs for a little bit, mainly Twins. He
Yeah, I
played
remember
for.
him, yeah.
But he's a Chicago guy.
Yeah,
I mean,
and Farmer was too, right?
Oh, Farmer, St.
Southsider.
Rita and Evergreen Park. Farmer was a character. It was funny. First time I met him, I worked at WMVP, and I went to meet him in the booth, and it was like the first inning. I remember, it was White Sox versus Royals. He's very sarcastic, but he goes, Mitch, you want to see how much power I have around here? I go, sure. There's an in-house phone in the booth. It's the first inning. And he picks it up, and he goes, visiting bullpen. So he, like to the operator. Picks up the phone, he goes, get the lefty up. He hangs the phone, he goes, watch the visiting bullpen. He called the Royals bullpen in the first inning, and a pitcher got up. He hung up. He goes, "That's how much power I have around here." Just screwing around.
Just screwing around. The other team warm some guy up
in the first inning.
Why is that guy throwing?
Right. But he was a character.
Yeah, but man, I miss Ed Farmer.
Teach Hanley has changed my life. My skin has been amazing.
We're the #1 men's skincare routine in America.
When I got here, they go, we're just waiting for the podcast guest. We know you're here for pictures.
They thought you were a model?
Yeah, you guys, he's glowing. In fact, Nate Bargatze was like, your skin's awesome.
Just I look forward to I'm washing my face before I go to sleep.
I think we haven't had any 40-year-olds on the podcast. And I said, I'm 50. And everyone goes, what?
Tiege Hanley. It's the way we face the day. Now, you stepped out of radio for a minute and you did some representation of some, agent work?
Yeah, I like to say, we learn from our mistakes. I love radio. I miss the action. I left MVP, and there was a great company, Paragon Marketing in Skokie, and they said, hey, we want to start this agent business. I said, I'm not
Are you
a
kidding me?
lawyer.
You work for Paragon Marketing.
Yeah.
A buddy of mine, TJ Cohen.
Oh, yeah, where's TJ? I haven't talked to him in years.
Now he's kind of doing his own thing. I went to school with him.
Oh, tell him I said hello.
Yeah, for sure.
Good
I didn't know
guy.
you guys worked together.
Yeah.
We
Guy
should have been
named
meeting
David
at Old
Brent.
Orchard for lunch. I used to meet him over there.
At the Bagel?
Yeah.
Yeah. My people up there.
That's a good spot. There's an old Skokie joke about
the
not
bagel?
the bagel, but Barnum Bagel.
Barnum and Bagel.
You ever hear that?
No.
What does the
It
server?
wasn't always very clean.
What does the server say at Barnum and Bagel?
Tell me.
Is anything okay?
It's a good one. David Brenner, nice people owned it. So I said, I'm not a lawyer, but I've done contracts, So I had Ozzie Guillen. That's how Ozzie and I became very friendly. I represented him, did all his marketing, and became very close to Ozzy and his family, John Rooney, like guys that I work with. So I did that for a year, and then the Score called, and I missed the action. And so that's how I got back into it.
You missed the action. You missed getting up because you were saying off air when you came in, you get up every day like 2:30 a.m.
Yeah, I'm nuts.
And so what time are you going to bed?
Like 9-ish.
Yeah?
I mean, I don't sleep much.
Okay, you get up, and then you're grabbing...
Yeah, I go downstairs, I take my clothes, I go through email. I learned a good trick a couple of years ago where I could time emails. Before, I didn't know I was pissing employees off. I sent emails at 3 in the morning, just nothing major. So someone said, hey, you know, we don't send emails. So now you could time emails on Google Mail. Did you know that or no?
I mean, I've heard this.
Yeah. So this is a good trick. So a lot of times I'll have like 30 pre-timed emails for 8 or 9 o'clock in the morning. It's better than 3 in the morning. So I'll do that. I'll catch up on a little Netflix, and then...
What are you watching?
Guilty pleasure. It's a little creepy.
Come on.
Are you watching this campus show on Amazon?
No.
Oh, God.
Is it good?
Yeah, it's a little sexy, but it's good.
Is that the one Sydney Sweeney's in?
I don't think so.
No.
Okay.
Which one?
No.
I see her trending
The John
on stuff.
Hamm show is very good. Friends and Neighbors.
Okay, I haven't seen that.
And then Hacks, Guilty Pleasure.
Yeah.
Some women like
So
say,
you get outside of sports. You get outside.
Here's what I say. Sports is my job, not my life. Like, I'll come home and watch CNN and not ESPN.
Okay, yeah.
Like, I live it. It's, I'm not a doctor, but I'm on call with, stations. But I want to come home and kind of clear the head a little bit.
Right.
But, yeah, the other one, Hacks, I love. Like, some people like say, Mitch, Lifetime is for, women and Mitch. So, yeah. People think I was born with an ovary. But, no, I like anybody watching Hacks? You must love Hacks.
I mean, I saw it early on.
Dude, you love
but then
it.
I just kind of,
Yeah, I saw like the one episode. I think this is the last season.
That could be similar vibe for me, though.
Yeah,
I'm
you
kind of
love
like,
sports.
I want to go the
it.
other way. Like, I may be
People
watching.
say it's loosely based on Joan Rivers' life, but I don't know.
Yeah, that's what I've heard as well. You
You
ever work with Joan Rivers? You ever cross paths with her?
No, I never had.
You?
No, I never had.
Carol Burnett.
Yeah, same. Carol Burnett.
Yeah.
Didn't she used to do this?
Yeah.
See.
And then and Robert Klein. That's probably like the closest
Oh
in
man,
the
Robert Klein was
age
great.
range.
So I leave the house at 4:17, not 4:19, 4:17.
You drive or you have a driver?
Come on. I grew up on the mean streets of Skokie.
So you got a driver?
No, hell no. And I go to the Starbucks in my neighborhood, 103rd in Longwood. Nance opens up at 4:27, not 4:30. 8 shots over ice, 1 Splenda. I drive, I come downtown. I say hello to our morning guys, Molly and Haw, Dustin and Brandon. I stick around till 5:36. Walk across the street and work out.
Are you a bot?
Huh?
Are you a bot?
Yeah.
That's what my kids say.
And
it's like programmed.
I work out and then shower and shave, come back to work, and it's ready to rock and roll.
No kidding.
Mm-hmm.
So you work out, you get the coffee at home, then you go
downtown, go to my office, get some work done, and then walk right across the street and work out for 32 minutes on the treadmill.
Okay.
Everything's off like a little bit.
I know.
27 minutes. Is it like a
Yeah, I'm nuts.
OCD thing or?
I don't know. It's just me being crazy. I don't know. I'm just set in my ways.
What's the let me see, the toughest it's ever been for you to let somebody go?
It's hard. Like being in management and being a leader, it sucks. You have to make tough decisions, and
I do that at 9:43 a.m. is when I fire people.
I used to do that 3 in the morning.
Yeah, whether it's financial or budget cuts or disciplinary, sometimes people come back and say, "Hey, that was the best thing you did." It's never easy. But there's no buts. It sucks.
Yeah.
I'm going to put you on the spot, and this is, and we don't even have to air this if you don't want, but I sometimes wonder what you guys, being more serious and having history, presenting sports to the public, what do you think of Barstool?
I respect the hell out of them. I think it's an iconic brand. I think, it is and one day will be a great study, like an MBA study, how they created it. I know, the Chicago office, a number of them, Big Cat Dan Katz, great guy, Barstool Eddie. I respect what they've done.
Eddie's a great guy.
Yeah, he's a Chicago guy.
Yeah.
I look at him almost like what Yurko was 20 years ago. I have nothing. I respect what they've done. Just incredible.
Yeah, they're doing some cool stuff, especially the Chicago. They seem to give back to the community.
I agree.
And they do have some outreach in our neighborhood. You mentioned going to 103rd and Longwood Starbucks.
Mm-hmm.
You're a Southsider. You grew up in Skokie,
Right.
but now you live.
30 years.
So you're a Southsider now.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. I say by injection only. Yes. Yes.
So I want to
Easy.
ask you some Southside stuff, Chicago
Please, I
stuff.
have thoughts.
Give me some. Where are you going out? Where are your restaurants?
There aren't many. I wish there were more options. Like Baracco's is a go-to place.
Definitely.
On 111th.
Yeah.
A couple of culture shock things. When I first moved in the neighborhood, we would have people over, and people walk up the driveway with coolers, and I'm like, if I'm hosting something, I'll pay for booze. It was like a culture shock thing. I'm like, what are you doing? Leave the stuff in there. And then my wife would say, no, that's normal South Side. I go, if they're coming to my house, I'll pay for things. So
Right.
that was one thing. And then I've determined, there are two families that run the neighborhood, and they're all related. It's either the McShanes or the Sheehan's, and they're all related, right? So it's like the Gambino family, but on the south, in the Beverly. Would you agree? Those two last names run the neighborhood in a good way, not illegally.
Yeah, right,
but everybody, those two families run the
all
neighborhood.
goes through that.
Frankinello's is good. It's gone down a little since Nello died. And then it's all about pizza and parishes. Like when I first moved in the neighborhood, what parish you're from? I go, what the hell's a parish? I go, I grew up Skokie, Cole Emmett. That's where I was bar mitzvahed. So you learn the different things in the neighborhood. You agree?
Yeah, definitely.
There's no new restaurants.
Well, I take Dwayne. We go to Top Notch. That's our spot.
Yeah.
Love Top Notch.
Yeah.
There would be nice to be more options. All
I
right, so
saw
now
the
take us
Melmans
downtown.
on here. Couldn't you talk to Melmans?
I have. They said we have too many cemeteries. We don't have enough
We do.
alive people.
You're
a lot of
right.
our land is taken up by.
What's your pizza go-to? Everyone's got a pizza place. Now,
Well, I'm buddies with Nick. I do love Baracco's.
I do
My
too.
kids are into Palermo's.
Yep.
But that's not really like our neighborhood.
Right.
That's kind of importing it
Right.
from Oaklawn.
I think one time you, me, and Jim, a couple times we ate at Fox's. Remember? Right?
Fox's
I love
in
Fox's.
person is good. When they
Yes,
deliver,
doesn't travel
Now,
Yeah.
our house is divided. Sometimes we've ordered from 3 different places.
Really?
Have you ever done
In one
that?
night?
On the same
Yeah,
night?
yeah.
I haven't done the
Yeah.
same night, but yeah, we do.
Milano's stuff,
Yeah.
good.
Very good.
Yeah.
I like Milano's.
Mm-hmm.
And we have no trouble finding good pizza.
How
it's
is
almost
I've
like
never been to this place. What's Chuck's? It looks like a hidden, what goes on in Chuck's? Have
Chuck's
you ever been
is yes, I have.
What is Chuck's?
It's good. It's been there forever.
Right.
I'm not a regular there, but they have their regulars,
Mm-hmm.
and they're known for their. I think they even call it a sewer cap. I mean, that's appetizing. It's the size of a sewer. That's the pizza.
Do you know Chuck's on Western?
No, see, I'm
Right.
more southeast. The joints I would go to, like Reggio's. Do you
Yeah.
all know?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But they just closed. But see, Reggio's, I liked. It was black. I used to think because I found out that Regio is a country. I mean, a state in Italy. But for years we thought it was just a brother named Reggie who was trying to sound Italian. So put the EO on there.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember Reggio's. A lot of guys already trust Tiege Hanley. They've shipped over 3 million boxes and have more than 24,000 reviews, averaging 4.7 stars. In fact, 91% of customers say they'd recommend it to a friend. People only talk like that when a product works. If you're ready to upgrade your routine, check out Tiege Hanley and face the day with confidence. Head to Tiege.com/Pat for 40% off and a free gift. That's Tiege.com/Pat. What about, do you have some haunts on in the Loop downtown?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know.
You offer a cocktail? You drink?
I'm not in the JDHOF, Jewish Drinking Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
So I'm a one in.
Who is?
Yeah, there's a couple of them.
Yeah, okay.
I'm a vodka lemonade guy. In the summer, I'm a one glass and done. Glass of wine. Yeah, I'm not a. Yeah. Cork. Bill at Cork is a good friend. Bill Guidey.
Yeah,
We've
great
been
dude.
friends
Oh,
for
man.
years. We used to do a thing, Coop at the Cork. Do you remember that?
Yes,
Don Cooper.
yes, Don Cooper,
Oh, we
yeah.
have some classic Don Cooper stories from there. Coop at the Cork was a lot of fun.
Legend.
You know, out of the blue, you know, here comes a Jim Thome walking in, or a Mark Burley, or who was a pitcher? Not was it Gavin Sheets, or is that the guy they just traded?
It's guy on the Padres now, first
yeah,
baseman.
but who was the pitcher?
John Garland?
Well, Garland.
Was it that era?
Yes, I forgot. But they would just come in, you know, walk in, and Coop after an hour would be 5 bourbons in, and you know, he'd
It wasn't
say
Bobby
anything.
Jenks.
No,
Was it a starter?
John Danks would stop
John
by.
Danks. Yeah. I remember him.
So
Yeah, he was good
It was
for a while.
fun, but that would, you know, coming in the neighborhood like on a Sunday after a Sunday game, it would be packed in the Bear Garden. And a guy named Chris Ranji, who used to work with us, would host.
Yeah,
those
Oh, I
Chris.
remember that. The Ranger.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. Those
He went to
post
St.
games.
Louis too, I think.
He's working at KMOX, but he comes back here once in a while.
And you have a responsibility with some Milwaukee stations too, right?
Yeah, I oversee Milwaukee's called The Fan, and a number of stations around the country. But Fan is a good station. We have 2 former Packers, a guy, Mason Crosby. He's the
Yeah,
all-time
okay.
The kicker?
leading scorer.
Yeah.
He's a kicker. And John Kuhn, who's a fullback, also works there.
Yeah.
What would you say is the difference between Milwaukee fans and Chicago fans?
Both passionate, different, but
Both
so much
fat.
passion.
I thought you were gonna say.
Yeah. You know, it's funny. I
Both
love,
got cholesterol issues.
Yes. The Brat Stop. We have a joint broadcast once a year. We call it the Brat Bowl, where we have both stations broadcast live, like on a Bears-Packers weekend, and it's hilarious and fun. So, yeah, that's great. When I cross the state line, like, you take a deep breath. Like, Chicago is go, go, go. Milwaukee and Wisconsin's like, go, go, go. So I enjoy going up to Wisconsin because people are great, but it's a little bit slower pace.
Yeah, as comics, I don't know if I don't want to speak for you, Dwayne, but I always enjoy going up to Wisconsin. They just are like some of the best crowds.
Yeah.
Oh
In
man,
the country,
absolutely.
man.
I used to do the Comedy Cafe.
Oh yeah.
I love that joint, man. Woo, yeah.
Do you
Nice
consume
people.
a lot of comedy? Do you watch stand up? Do you watch any?
A little. Listen, Sebastian is great. Like your work. When I worked with Kevin Matthews, he was good friends with the guy Bill Hicks. You remember that?
Yeah,
name?
right,
Hicks was a genius,
And
man.
Emo Phillips. And is Emo still alive?
Yeah,
or
yeah.
no?
Yes.
Emo's still
Yeah.
doing it.
Judy Tenuta.
Emo is a legend in Chicago,
Yeah.
and he was at a really good relationship with Zane. He's from up there, right? He's living
I think it's like Downers Grove or
yes,
something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, so I got to meet through Kevin, you know, he used to do comedy shows like in Joliet. Kevin Meaney, who I think has passed away.
Yeah,
Kevin
Meaney, yeah.
Matthews was friends with.
Yeah, Kevin Meaney. He came out at some point.
Yeah.
Right?
Right. Other than how could he have stayed in with that act?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's where I was going. That's where I was going.
Yeah.
My emo story is, and I love emo. Very funny. He had a great joke about, and it rings true more than ever, about his high school. He had like I have a niece in high school who's taking drama. It's like,
Oh really? Oh,
do
man.
you really have to? But he did something to me in the club one time, and I will never do this to someone. Has anyone ever done this to you?
He did that to you?
Yeah, from like across the room. One of these.
Really?
You ever do that to someone? You used to see
Heck
that
no.
more. Maybe even from my parents.
No, you know who did that? I only saw it on television. Carmela Soprano did that to her friend at a party. Yeah, man. He did this to me. Not did this. I was reading 1984, but it was like, long since, And I had the book, and we were up in the green room. He said, "Why are you reading that? What's it to you? Yeah, don't worry about it."
Were you reading it out loud?
Well, yeah. Yeah, I was asking him to read it to me, but still. No, I mean, yeah, but emo was...
What about other local, like Rocky Laporte, still around or no?
Yes.
Yeah?
Rocky had a bad accident.
Yeah, Rocky's in bad well, he's in better shape, but yeah, he was...
Yeah. But one
Chicago
of the
comedy.
funniest guys
Yeah.
ever.
Yeah.
Very funny dude.
Real quick, can I tell you an Eddie Schwartz comedy
Yeah.
story? So Schwartz, and I wasn't with him at the time. Schwartz used to work at a station WIND before GN, and he used to play. Eddie was big into comedy. I think he'd play sides of comedy albums. I think so he can go to the restroom and play the whole sides.
So you go hang out with our stripper?
Right, yeah. So he played Cosby before Cosby was Cosby. So Cosby lands at O'Hare. He gets in a cab, and the cab driver has on WIND, and Cosby hears himself. And he says to the cab driver, "Who's playing this?" And the cab driver goes, "This guy Eddie Schwartz." And for some reason, the cab driver knew where Eddie Schwartz's studio was. And he goes, "Take me to where the studio is." So this is like at 1 a.m. And I do believe this story. So Cosby gets to the security guard and says, "Is Eddie Schwartz on there?" "Yeah, he's here." So he walks in while Eddie's playing. That's pretty cool, playing his album. So they became pretty good friends. And Cosby used to come on the radio with Eddie all the time. And he was very good friends. And that's how they became friends. He literally got in a cab and heard himself on Eddie's show.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
That is a good story.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he was so big at the time, and then like in the 80s with his show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
You saw that coming? Dwayne told me a long time ago. He said, you remember telling me this? You said the cleanest comics, they're the creepiest off stage.
Oh,
they're always suspect of super clean.
Yeah, I was
comedians.
quoting Brian Posehn. Right. The cats on stage who are the most milquetoast, middle of the road acts on stage, maniacs off stage. And then the cats who seem to be maniacs on stage, off stage. Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Mitch, dude, I really appreciate you coming in here. I know you're a busy guy. You want to plug some socials? I know you're on X, Twitter.
Yeah.
You stay active.
Yeah, I don't. It doesn't matter.
But all the shows too that you're doing.
Yeah. Listen, the Score. We thank our brand. It's about our brand. It's about our people. Like we have great people, and to me, our brand is about the people. The people who were there before, and the people who are there today, and people consume our brand. And to me, that's the most important thing. So I appreciate you guys having me. This was fun. I love talking about the Score and about the South Side.
I was recently on with Lawrence and Spiegel.
Yep,
great dudes. Love the studio there, and I brought him some T. Hanley, some skincare.
Oh, thank you.
Are you moisturizing? Is this part of your?
I go.
Can you fit that in at 4:13 a.m.?
I go to the Schvitz. That's legal. It's Yiddish for sweat. Do you guys ever go to the Division Street Bathhouse?
No.
You guys have to try
Are there still bathhouses?
Yeah. Yep. It's very cool. It's on Division Street. Been going there since I was 5.
Was it near Milwaukee?
Yeah. It's
I've
right off
seen
of
that.
Division North, and it's a great place. And I've been going there since I was 5, and you get a platza, and that's Yiddish for like a rub with leaves. It sounds weird, but it's great. You guys should try it.
Wait. Okay.
Yeah.
Walk
You were
me
ready
through,
to end this.
Walk
You're
me through
like
the
Howard.
bathhouse. You walk into the bathhouse, and you're wearing what? You're going in street clothes.
There's a
you
men's
walk
and
up.
women's side, although my wife threw me a surprise 40th birthday party there. Did not turn into an orgy. But this is a real cool place. So you go on the men's side, $40. You get a sheet and 2 towels, a bar of soap, and a lock for your locker. And then you
Sounds like a prison intake.
Yeah, it's very relaxing. And you go into wet
do that
steam.
At 26 and up.
They throw lime on you.
And you go into wet steam, and if you get a rub with this broomstick and leaves, it's called a platza, and it's one of the most relaxing. It's about 200 degrees, and I'm not outing him, but like Chelios is there every morning. John Belushi used to go there. The late Reverend Jesse Jackson used to go there. And, there could be mob guys, there could be old Russian men, every race, every minority, and it's a very cool place. But it's the Division Street Bathhouse. No plug, but it's really, really good.
Dude, we got to go in there and start booking some more guests. That sounds like.
Do the show from there.
Yeah.
Can you approach people in a bathhouse like that?
And you really fit in. You'll sound like a guy from the Schvitz.
Is it communal? Are you talking to other people?
Oh yeah, you're kibitzing, and it's pretty cool.
And you're there for how long?
Hour and a half. You can hang out. And then upstairs is a restaurant. You can do a shot. It's old Russian men upstairs. It's pretty cool.
How often are you going?
Is that a mic drop now?
How often are you going?
I go like once a month. My dad started taking me there when I was 5 years old. I was probably traumatized, but now, now there's now
that you're not at eye level with a bunch of strange dicks.
Yeah. Now
it's a little bit. It's a little more comfortable.
The young guys wear bathing suits. Like, come on.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Man up and just take it all up.
You don't know what to say now, do you?
Oh man. Woo. I know what I don't think I'll be going.
Yeah.
Well, Mitch, I'm a longtime listener to
a
bunch of these stations that you mentioned, and actively always on the Score and WXRT. So
appreciate it.
Really appreciate you and all that you've given to our city, and it's a big part of the culture of our conversations and what we're talking about. The best part about Tiege Hanley is the results. 95% of users report visible improvements to their skin, and about 80% say they start getting compliments. The routine only takes about 2 minutes a day. Wash, exfoliate, moisturize, and it's backed by the Handsome Guarantee. Try Tiege Hanley today and enhance your handsome. Head to Tiege.com/Pat for 40% off and a free gift. That's Tiege.com/Pat. Tiege Hanley. It's the way we face the day. Big thing now with the Bears saying they were talking about it this morning on Mully and Hall. They had our state senator, Bill Cunningham, on. This thing is a mess. I'm almost tired of talking about it.
I know. We just try to find a balance. Like, is it too much? Is it not enough? But we think people, we talk about what are the hits today. We think this is still a hit.
It is,
today.
Yeah. No, it's certainly relevant. It's not your fault that it's still. I'm just saying that it's still an issue.
Right.
And it's the Bears that are probably. I mean, do you have a feeling? I want them to be in Chicago
we do.
second Arlington Heights.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, if they do go to Indiana, Hammond, let's just be honest with each other. Like, Hammond, Indiana, for where we live on the south side is closer than Arlington Heights, yes?
Yes.
But the perception is they're in Indiana. Now, you could also say, like, the Jets and the Giants play in New Jersey. So, I don't know, man. I mean, does it matter? Yeah, perceptually, like, they're not in Chicago. So,
right. But Hammond is basically a Chicago suburb.
I think so.
Right?
I mean, yeah. But it's weird.
Yeah, and it seems like toxic over there.
Yeah, the landfill.
The land is not. I mean, it's kind of like a swamp or marsh, isn't it?
Right.
Yeah.
I don't know where. Like today, whatever the date. What's today? May what? Or
June
what?
June 2nd.
Yeah, happy June
2nd,
by the way.
June 2nd at 10:57 a.m. This minute, my weird feel is Hammond, Indiana. But ask me in an hour.
Yeah.
Okay, I say they're gonna stay in Chicago.
Where?
I don't know.
Soldier Field?
No. Well, or across
Michael
from
Reese? I don't know.
somewhere. Yeah.
Well, that's
about
where they were
you,
going to
Pat,
build the
today?
Olympic stuff. That's
Yeah.
where they were going to build the Olympic
Right.
site, right? The Michael Reese. I would say today, Arlington Heights.
Okay.
I still think that's. I think they're bluffing on Indiana.
Right.
I think it would be a PR. I don't know. Maybe there would be some backlash. But I will ask you in an hour. Could we talk about the bathhouse until then?
Yeah. The Schvitz.
Let's go back to the Schvitz.
Oh, man. Okay, before you go, I know you got to go.
Yes.
How has the internet affected what you all do, and how have you all integrated that into tertiary radio?
Yeah, it's part of what we do. We promote the app, streaming. Streaming is so popular because not everybody's in their car. Not everybody's at home having their Alexa. So it's on their phone. We like to say, take the score with you anywhere. So on the Odyssey app, you can listen to the score anywhere. So the internet is part of our DNA, and it's huge. Without like that app and people can listen from anywhere, I don't think our brand would be as strong. So it's huge.
If you had to guess, and maybe you don't even want to say, but what percentage of your listeners are still on the radio, just turning the radio on?
Well, I think the FM was a game changer. I think when we were just AM only, the app was a huge percentage because people couldn't hear AM everywhere. So I think the FM balances it out a little bit, but I think the app and the internet is a convenience for people. Does that make sense?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and then with YouTube, it's turned every radio show into a television show, right?
No
To
doubt.
some degree.
Yeah, these guys
No
got a
doubt.
shower now.
Yeah, no doubt. Yeah, and listen, I have one kid. He's 26. He consumes a lot of media through video, whether it's Pat McAfee or other things, or the score. It's Twitch, YouTube, and people like that visual medium. And like I said earlier, it's content distribution. And what that is YouTube, Twitch, and all the different platforms. And we want as many ears and eyes, and however we can deliver that to them is key.
Very cool, man. Well, Mitch, thank you again for
Thank
joining
you.
us. We are going to hook you up with some skincare.
Awesome.
We have to moisturize in this
Please.
world.
You can rub it on
Right?
in the steam
Yeah,
room.
take some to the bathhouse.
Yeah,
I'm
take the
bringing it
bath-
in.
Yeah, be
bringing
the
it
guy
in.
that's handing out lotion at the bathhouse.
I love it. You guys don't even think it's
That'd
real.
I love the cast of characters in there, though. It makes
Yeah.
you realize like we're not hanging out in
Dude,
the right
you
places.
could use it in your shows.
Yeah.
Right,
Or
right.
that's a Schvitz.
Yeah, right.
That's where everybody's.
Offer a mob dude some lotion.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
serious about booking guests there.
Yeah.
because that is something that I get help here booking guests, but that is a large part of what you have to do here.
Sure.
And when you guys are doing that, are you reaching out cold? Are you?
Yeah, we have great producers, and they're following whatever the hits are of the day are. But they've made like out of the blue. Alex Spiegel and Holmes producer became friends with Benji Molina, Cardinals guy. So when the Cubs or once in a while when the White Sox play the Cardinals, he's become a regular. He's a real character. So you develop relationships over
I
the
heard
years.
him on the other day.
Yeah,
Benji Molina.
he's kind of a character. So it was fun.
Yeah, another guy I've stayed in touch with who I met through the score, Parkins. Dave Parkins.
Great.
His
we
career
just
is taking off.
raised over $800,000. He was here for a radiothon. He did 24 straight hours and raised money for cancer research. And Danny's great, really terrific, doing great in New York, and we miss him.
Yeah,
and that's kind of cool how he's maintained his relationship with you all.
Right.
Even though he's a national guy now.
Yeah, he's like I said to him when he was in last week, he'll always be a score person, and we're real proud of him.
Yeah, all good stuff, man. All right, guys, check out Mitch on the socials. Make sure you listen to the Score, WXRT, all the Odyssey stuff. And Dwayne, you have anything coming up you want to?
Yes, I'm going to be in. Why am I talking like
San Diego?
Yes, that's what you should say.
Or you were just
Patrick. Yeah, I'm doing this Saturday. I'm shooting Don't Tell Comedy in Manhattan Beach, California. So
beautiful, man.
We'll see what happens, bro.
Yeah, knock it out.
Yeah.
Have a great time. I'm going to be in Syracuse coming up. I also have, dude, I just booked something in Hawaii.
What?
I'm going to the Blue Note in Honolulu.
Oh, man.
Nice.
I've never done. I did a corporate gig. I've only been in Hawaii one time. I was there for like 48 hours. So I'm excited about this. Go out there, make a little trip of it.
Man.
Check it out.
Okay.
All right. So if we have any listeners in Honolulu, I'll see you June 20th at the Blue Note. All right, guys. Thanks for listening. Don't forget to download, subscribe, leave us a review. We will be back next week. We do have Father Tom Hurley coming in.
Oh.
With Tom Curley, funeral home director.
Hurley and Curly.
Okay.
See, that's how we book.
Yeah.
Love
Got
it.
a rhyme. And then we also have Abby Murphy coming up, who is a Olympic gold medalist with our national hockey team, and Oz Perlman, too. A lot of great guests coming up. Make sure you're tuning in. Have a great week, everyone, and happy June. Later.
The Pat McGann Show is brought to you by the Pat McGann Show team. Producer Paula Thornton. Showrunner Tom Bambera. Audio engineer Tommy Grant. Video production Eddie Perez. Video and audio editor Madeline Curlis. Organic content manager George Moster. Recorded at T.H. Hanley Studios in Chicago, Illinois.